Hi everyone. Already we are in motion topic. In that now we are going to discuss about gravitation. Gravitation is also comes under motion. So in this entrance guide channel you will get maths and science classes. So for TET, CTET and DSC means TRT, SGT or TRT, SA Physical Science and SA Maths also, and TS Telangana State EdSet. Now they changed the syllabus na, so change చేసిన syllabus లో you will get all these topics in entrance guide channel, only maths and science. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe my channel. Here gravitation. So gravitation means all we know gravitation, this earth, not only this earth, already we discussed in before the chapter. So this object, whatever the objects present on this earth, every object has gravitational force. Gravitation means attraction force towards the earth. So earth always attracts any object towards it. That attraction is called as gravitation, gravitational force. So this earth has gravitation force. That's why only we can stand here, we can walk here. Otherwise, if you jump once high, you cannot come down again. You will go in that direction only. వన్స్ ఒక్కసారి మనం పైకి ఎగిరినాము అని అంటే పైకి అలాగే వెళ్ళిపోతూనే ఉంటాం, ఇంకెక్కడ ఆగము. ఇఫ్ దేర్ ఇస్ నో గ్రావిటేషనల్ ఫోర్స్, దిస్ గ్రావిటేషనల్ ఫోర్స్ ఆల్వేస్ ట్రైస్ టు పుల్స్ డౌన్, పుల్స్ టు ఇట్ ఓన్లీ. Then when we jump also, our speed decreases, our force decreases, and again we come down just due to this gravitational force. So how this gravitational force acts? So to learn that, first we have to know about uniform circular motion. Uniform circular motion, in that only we have meaning. Uniform means same, speed, uniform means speed, its velocity should be same, and circular motion, it should be in circular motion. If a body is with constant speed and in circular path, then we say that that object is in uniform circular motion. Next, the force acting towards the center is called centripetal force. When object is in with uniform circular motion, some force acts towards the center of that circle. So whatever the force acting towards the center of the circle is called as centripetal force. Centripetal force is Fc, that is equal to mv square by r. M is mass of the object which is in circular path, v is velocity of the object, and radius, r is radius, means if it is rotating in the circular path, so this is the radius. Radius we know, no? So radius of that circular path, this is here r. Okay, this is uniform circular motion. Tie a stone to long thread ki stone katti started rotating. So by using your hand force, muscular force, so when you are rotating that stone, if at a point if you stop rotating, means if you stop applying force on it, means when its velocity becomes zero, what happens to that stone? That stone, if it is circulating in this path, it is rotating. At this point, if you stop applying force on it, then what happens? It moves in this direction. If you stop here, it moves in this direction. If you stop here, it moves in this direction. If you stop here, it moves. So when I am rotating it, when I stop here, it moves in this direction. That direction is called as tangent to that circle. So in maths also we get this in circles. Tangent, if touch that in at only one point, that is called tangent. So this is the tangent of the circle. So when you stop rotating it, means when your force acts on this becomes zero. Your force means that is centripetal force only. Center is your hand only, that is rotating. By taking your hand as a center, means you are applying centripetal force. So force you are applying on that stone. So when you stop force on it, it moves in the tangent direction of that circle. Next, here we have a question. Can an object move in a circular path if no force acts on it? If no force acts on it, can object ఏదైనా ఆబ్జెక్ట్ సర్క్యులర్ పాత్ లో తిరుగుతూనే ఉంటుందా? ఇఫ్ నో ఫోర్స్, నో అసలు ఫోర్స్ అనేది యాక్ట్ చేయకపోతే, నో ఇట్ కెనాట్ మూవ్. వై? బికాస్ when it is moving in a circular path, it should need a centripetal force. Without centripetal force, it cannot move in a circular path. So always it need centripetal force. If you stop force, immediately it moves in tangent, its tangent direction. Next, one more question also we have here. A car is moving in circular direction like this. It is moving like this. Then if its speed increases fast, what happens to its momentum? Means what happens to its velocity and direction? What is its direction? So when we increase the speed, car speed, it is rotating. When you increase the speed in this car, you know that that car comes to the center. Means centripetal force increases. This is the formula, no? With this is the formula. When we increase the velocity, automatically centripetal force also increases. Why? Because centripetal force is directly proportional to the square of velocity, v square. Fc is directly proportional to v square. Then if you increase the velocity, centripetal force also increases. When centripetal force means the force which is acting towards the center. So when you increase the speed of the car falls to the center. So you may change its direction change అయిపోయి ఇలా వెళ్ళాల్సిన కారు మధ్యలోకి వెళ్ళిపోతుంది ఫాస్ట్గా, దాని స్పీడ్ ఎక్కువగా చేంజ్ చేసినట్లయితే. నెక్స్ట్, యూనివర్సల్ లా ఆఫ్ గ్రావిటేషన్. సో యూనివర్సల్ లా, ఇన్ దిస్ ఓన్లీ we have meaning universal. So in this universe, not only on this earth, in this universe every two objects can attract each other. So every object, any two objects, if you take any two objects in this universe, all are attracted by one another. So this is told by Newton. This also told by Newton. So Newton's universal law of gravitation. So someone told this as Newton's fourth law. So already we learnt about Newton's three laws na. So కొద్దిమంది ఏమంటారంటే this universal law of gravitation as Newton's fourth law, and someone told that it's we should not tell it as Newton's fourth law. Okay, so if you are searching for Newton's fourth law, this is only the Newton's fourth law, that is universal law of gravitation. So here Newton told this, in this universe every two objects have gravitational force, means attracting force between them. So force, that gravitational force I am taking as Fg, gravitational force, is directly proportional to masses of those objects. m1, if this object is with m1 mass and if this object is with m2 mass. So these two objects mass, this attraction between these two objects depends on these two objects mass. So m1 into m2. And if we know that if we increase the distance from earth, gravitational force decreases. If we move away from the earth after some height, gravitational force become zero. Means slowly it decreases from height of the earth. If we move above height from this earth, gravitational force slowly decreases and at last at one point it becomes zero. Means when distance between one object to another object increases, gravitational force decreases. Means gravitational force is inversely proportional to the distance between two objects. Distance between two objects is d, then square of distance is d square, then gravitational force is inversely proportional to its distance square. Means Fg is proportional to 1 by d square. From this two we can write Fg is proportional to m1 m2 by inversely proportional to d square. So Fg is proportional to m1 m2 by d square. We know that if you remove this proportional by using equal to, we can write a constant, that is g. Here I am writing that constant as g. capital G. G m1 m2 by d square. Fg gravitational force is equal to capital G m1 m2 by d square. Here G is called as proportionality constant and that is also called as universal gravitational constant. So very important, this is universal gravitational constant. Universal gravitational constant is capital G. Capital G value is 6.67 into 10 power minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. I will write here clearly, Newton meter square per kg square, means I am writing as kg power minus 2. That is also we call it as k per kg square. So G value is very important. Universal gravitational constant value G is 6.67 into 10 power minus 11 and its units also very important, and this Fg is equal to G m1 by m2 by d square is only called as universal law of gravitation. So here already we know that if any body is moving in uniform circular motion, it experiences centripetal force. That centripetal force is mv square by r. So when any object is revolving in a circular path, its velocity is equal to, velocity means simply we know that displacement per time. So displacement means to complete one revolution means it should complete this line. So what is this line is called circumference of the circle. So circumference of the circle formula is 2 pi r. That is 2 pi r is the radius of this circle. 2 is constant, pi is constant, r is radius of this circle. So that is distance it covered per time. Time we don't know, take it as t. So distance by time, velocity. So here I am substituting that Fc is equal to m v square. V is 2 pi r by t whole square again by t. This is m v square I substituted by r. So by r. So here 2 square means 4, pi square, r square, m by this t means t square. This is r into r. So, but now here we know that universal gravitational force is Fg is equal to G m by r square. m1 m2. M is, if you take this is for, m is mass earth and small m is any object means moon mass around which it is revolving around the earth, no. So moon mass we are taking as small mass, small m, and earth is huge. So that's why its mass we are taking as capital M. R is the same, so circle in which the moon is revolving. So this is only that according to universal law of gravitational, this only we call it as centripetal force. Due to this force only moon is revolving around the earth. Means these two forces are equal. Fc is equal to Fg. So mv square by r is equal to, we can write gmm by r square. But here mv square we got like this, na, 4 pi square. Here we can cancel one r. Here we get only one r into m by t square. This is t square is equal to, write this, g m by r square. Okay. Now just listen carefully. Transpose this t square that side. Transposed t square. Write this as it is, 4 pi square r m, and again transpose this gmm by r square this side. Then it becomes its inverse, means r square by gmm. Here this is mass of moon and this is also mass of moon. Then we get 4 pi r square, sorry, pi square r into r square, r cube by g capital M, that is equal to t square. So t square is equal to 4 pi square r cube by g m. So what is the time? This is time to revolve around the earth. that depends on the mass of earth and universal gravitational constant and radius in which it is revolving. The radius in which the moon is revolving. So from this we can write 4 is constant, pi is constant, g is universal constant, already I told its value, and m is mass of earth. Mass of earth is always constant. Then you can write t square is directly proportional to r cube. When these all are constant, t square is directly proportional to r cube. Means if you take moon, we know its radius, okay. But if you take any satellite which is revolving around earth, that how much time it takes to complete one revolution is depends on its radius. With how much radius the satellite is revolving around the earth. Based on that, we can say how much time it takes. So this is also very important. T square, time to revolve around earth, is time square is directly proportional to radius cube. T square is proportional to r cube. This is also very important. We have to remember it. Next term, satellites revolving around the earth in circular path near to earth's surface. Near to earth's surface, it takes 1 hour 24.7 minutes. 1 hour and 24.7 minutes to complete one revolution around the earth. Any satellite which is very near to earth's surface, it takes 1 hour 24.7 minutes. Next, if you take moon takes 27.3 days, 27.3 days, or if you convert that into seconds, 2.35 into 10 power 6 seconds per one revolution. Here, if you take acceleration on earth, acceleration means when any object freely falling, if you leave it, it freely falls to the earth. So how it freely falls to the earth? This earth is pulling it down by using gravitational force. When it applies gravitational force, automatically its speed increases. When it is moving very near to the earth, its speed also increases more. So when we throw up, when it is going up slowly, means its distance from earth, its distance increasing. When its distance increasing, gravitational force on this also decreases. When distance from earth to object increases, gravitational force decreases. So, and when it is falling freely from up to down, then also gravitational force increases. Why? Because distance between this object and earth decreasing. When distance decreases, gravitational force increases. So when gravitational force increases, its velocity also increases. How it increases? So that is depends on gravitational acceleration. That is only called as Earth's acceleration. Earth's gravitational acceleration denoted by g, small g. That is 981 centimeter per second square. If you convert this into 9.81 meter per second square, that only we write it as small g is 9.8 meter per second square. Sometimes this we take as almost 9.8 means sometimes we take it as almost 10. Sometimes we take in some problems. Okay, so 981 centimeter per second square. This is the acceleration. If your body accelerated with the effect of earth, ఏదైనా ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఎర్త్ వల్ల యాక్సిలరేషన్లోకి వచ్చింది అని అంటే దాని యాక్సిలరేషన్ ఎంత ఉంటుంది? 981 సెంటీమీటర్ పర్ సెకండ్ స్క్వేర్ ఆర్ 9.81 మీటర్ పర్ సెకండ్ స్క్వేర్. దిస్ వాల్యూ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో ఇంపార్టెంట్. అండ్ ఇఫ్ యూ గో టు moon also has gravitational acceleration, gravitational force, but that moon acceleration is 0.27 centimeter per second square. When you come to earth, it is 981, but when you go to moon, it becomes 0.27 centimeter per second square. Means moon gravitational acceleration is very, 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 very less when comparing with earth. So when you go to moon, if you jump once, here we can jump up to this much height. From here we can jump up to this much height. Why? Because after going to this much height, again earth pulls us down. But if you same jump with the same force, if you jump on the moon, the gravitational force on moon is very less, then you can may jump to almost 2 floors building height, almost that much height you can jump by using the same force. Why? Because gravitational force pulling to earth is very very less. సో భూమి మీద కన్నా మూన్ పైకి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు మనం ఎక్కువ హైట్కి జంప్ చేయగలుగుతాము. అండ్ వీ కెన్ టేక్ సమ్ అనదర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. ఇఫ్ యూ టేక్ apple falling from a tree, so immediately within fraction of seconds that apple can fall to the earth, on this earth. If the same apple tree is on the moon, when that apple also on that moon, also apple falls to the moon, but it takes more time. Why? Because its acceleration is very very less, means change in velocity is very very less, slowly its speed increases. That's why it takes more time to fall from tree to that moon. So that is acceleration. These values also very very important in centimeters and in meters also you have to remember. Gravitational acceleration on earth, gravitational acceleration on moon. Here we have a question. This is the earth. Moon is revolving around the earth. This is moon. Moon is revolving around the earth. If velocity of this moon becomes 0, what happens? Already we told that we know Fc is equal to mv square by r. Then automatically what happens? When v is 0, velocity becomes 0. Moon velocity becomes 0. When moon velocity becomes 0, centripetal force, when this is 0, 0 into anything is 0. So centripetal force is also 0. When centripetal force means which attracting towards the center, is 0. When moon is revolving like this, at this point, if its velocity becomes 0, centripetal force is 0. Means it cannot attract towards the center. It moves in tangent direction. So if this is the earth, if moon is revolving in this orbit, at this position, if its velocity becomes 0, it moves in this direction. If here its velocity becomes 0, it moves in this direction. Means simply we can say in tangent direction. At that point, the moon moves in the direction of tangent at that point. If here we have one more question also. According to universal law of gravitation, Fg is equal to gmm by r square or d square. Simply we take it as d square, distance between two objects. Then if one object mass is doubled, what happens to its force? One object mass is doubled. One object mass means we take any mass, m is increased to 2m, doubled by d square. So we can write this as 2 into gmm by d square. So what is this gmm by d square is? 2 into gravitational force only, Fg. So new force become 2 times. If one mass doubled, gravitational force also doubled. If 2 masses are doubled, 2 2s are 4, then gravitational force new force become 4 times of the old gravitational force. This universal law of gravitation is applicable for spherical bodies, so which are in sphere shape. For those objects only this universal law of gravitation applicable. But we should consider all objects on this earth. Why? Because when you consider on this big earth, we all are like a small dot, means we all are also in spherical shape. When comparing with this huge earth, we are in very small dot. This huge building is also like a small dot on this earth. So all these we take as spherical bodies on this earth. So this is also very important. Universal law of gravitation is applicable for spherical bodies. Next, acceleration is independent of masses. So if you take a sketch or if you take a stone or any huge stone or any huge object, their acceleration is same. If you leave those two at a time, their acceleration is same towards the earth. Why? Because earth attracts every object with the same force. So every object, every free fall object is with same acceleration. Then their speeds, velocity, how it changes. Already we have these equations. We used v equal to u plus at, s is equal to ut plus half at square, v square minus u square is equal to 2a. Yes, here acceleration we have taken simply acceleration. But when you go to free fall or when you throw a ball upside, then what happens? That acceleration, this acceleration becomes gravitational acceleration, means this becomes g. V is equal to u plus gt. Next s means here height, we take it as height from the earth. So height, s become h is equal to ut plus half gt square, a become g. V square minus u square is equal to 2a become g, s become h, 2g h. These are the new formulas for gravitation. Here if you take g, if object is freely falling, if this object is freely falling, what is its acceleration? Means positive acceleration. Why? Because its speed increases continuously. Why? Because it is going near to the earth, means it is going in the direction of gravitation force. Gravitation force acting down and that object is also going down in the same direction. Then we take this g as plus. But when this object is moving up, means like this, then also when it is moving up, then also gravitation force acts on this. Then that when object is moving in the opposite direction of gravitational force trying to pull it down, but this object is moving up, then this g become negative. V is equal to u minus gt, h is equal to ut minus half gt square, v square minus u square is equal to minus 2g h. So like this we have to use sign conventions for g also. And next here we have a question. Here give an example for the motion of an object with zero velocity and non-zero acceleration. Velocity should be 0 but acceleration should not 0. When it happens, so if you take any object here, so this is the object. If you take this object, so I am throwing up, look here, I am throwing up. It reaches maximum height here. More than this height it cannot go. Again after this height, again it is coming down. So when it reaches its maximum height, at this height its velocity becomes 0 at maximum height. Why? Because whatever the force applied by my hand is cancelled, slowly cancelled by the earth gravitational force, and at maximum height its velocity become 0, but at this height it has acceleration. Why? Because gravitational force acting on it, again it comes down. So at this maximum height its velocity becomes 0, but it has gravitational acceleration. How much gravitational acceleration? 9.8 meter per second square. At this maximum height, velocity of this object is 0, but it is acceleration. It has acceleration as 9.8 meter per second square. And we have one more question also here. If you throw 20 kg object and 40 kg object upward, what are the accelerations of these two objects? So upward means just we are throwing opposite to the this earth only, na. So 20 kg or 40 kg or 100 kg, whatever the mass of those objects, simply their accelerations are same. That is 9.8 meter per second square. Just simply this is only the whatever the mass, acceleration is same for all objects here. So if you throw a object up, so up, here I thrown a object. How much forcefully it is going up. So it comes down after some height, it comes again down. Here how much distance it covered in last second, Same that much distance it covers in last second when it is freely falling to the ground. So at last second, how much it upward, in upward direction, how much distance it covered in last second of its movement. So when it is falling down also, in last second also, it covers the same distance. This also we have to know. Let us see examples. Next we have one example. Find the time taken by a body projected vertically up with a speed of 5 meter per second to return back to the ground. So they have given the speed, means initial velocity is 5 meter per second, and we have to find out time taken to return back to the ground again. So how much time it takes? So simply we have a formula, h is equal to ut minus half gt square, s equal to ut plus half at square, h is equal to ut minus half gt square. Why we are taking minus? Why? Because that object is throwing up, means opposite to the gravitation. So h at maximum height, if you go for maximum height, here maximum height, its velocity become 0 at maximum height. When we throw it up at maximum height, its velocity becomes 0, but object should go up and again should come down. Means again it should come to the same position. Means its height become 0. Its height become 0. Next u is 5. Sorry. Okay. 5t minus half g, we know 9.8 t square. Just transpose this 1 by 2 into 9. Okay, cancel it. 9 2 ones, 2 4s are 8, remaining 1, 2 9s are 18. Okay, transpose this minus 4.9 t square. This side it become plus 4.9 t square, that is equal to 5t. Next term, t square, if you transpose this t, this side this become by t. Here take it as 5 and transpose this side 4.9. So t square 1t cancel, then we get t. 5 by 4.9 means it is almost equal to 5. So 5 if you cancel, you get almost 1 second time. Means less than 1 second, just less than just a fraction of second. So it takes 1 second time to come back. Weight of any object. So when we are on this earth, then only we have this weight. Otherwise, we call it as mass, our mass. So when we are on the earth, that weight, that is called as weight. Weight is the gravitational force acts on any body, is called as weight. So we know that F is equal, according to Newton's second law, F is equal to m into A. This force become our weight, that is equal to mass, our mass, into gravitational acceleration. This is earth force now, that become gravitational acceleration. So weight is equal to mass into gravitational acceleration. So if a person weighs 50 kgs here, if you take the same person to the moon, his weight become very less. Why? Because their gravitational acceleration become less. Here our mass should multiply with 9.8. But if you go to moon, our mass should multiply with 0.0027. So then automatically our mass become very less. Sorry, our weight, mass is same everywhere, but our weight become very less. And we may get our weight become 0, our weightless. So you may have seen those videos, space, in International Space Station. Space, there is no gravitational force. There is no earth, there is no gravitational force. When g is equal to 0, our weight becomes 0. In space, we are weightless. 0 weight. No object will have any weight in space where there is no gravitation force. So, if you jump from any height, one wall, so when you are jumping from a height wall to down, then if you measure your weight, then also become 0 kgs. You become weightlessness. Any free fall body, this is very important, any free fall body, weight become 0. Any free fall body, either you or any object, any free fall body is weight become 0. Next we have center of gravity. Center of gravity means if any object's total weight placed at a point, that point is called as center of gravity. So if you take this pen or a scale, here I cannot hold it properly. At this point also I cannot hold it properly. But if I hold at the middle, exactly middle point of that, I can hold it properly like this. It can stand easily. So this point is called as center of gravity, means the total mass of this object occupied at this point, at this center, that is called center of gravity. So for human beings, our navel ante boddu antaru kada. So that is navel is the center of gravity point. So if any human being try to go to a hill by using a rope, what happens? Always they won't go straight. A rope ni pattukoni taaduni pattukoni straight ga ekkaru paiki. Etla ekkutaru vallu? They always try to move like this, bend like this. Why? Because when they are moving like this by using this rope, ikkada ee rope ni pattukoni itla paiki ekkutunnaru anante em kavali? Their center of gravity should lie in at middle position, in the middle. This is the part and this is your body. Then when you bend like this, your navel become front. Your navel comes to front. So when it comes to front, if you draw a line from your position and through navel, so means how you are bending? When you bend like this to front, if you draw a line through your navel, if that line falls inside of your body, so this is the thread, I am bending like this. If I draw a line through my navel, that line passes inside in this part. That line passes in this part. That's why we get a stability. Then we get a stability. Otherwise, if mountain who are going up to the mountain, if they bend like this, what happens? Their body is that side. Then legs, కాళ్ళు ఏమో ఇటున్నాయి ముందుకి, బాడీ ఏమో అటువైపు ఉంది. If you draw a line through the navel, what happens? Through the navel, if you draw a line that is outside of the body. So thread is here, that rope is here, and he is bending like this. Back means if you draw a line through the center navel, through the navel, then that line lies out of your body, out of the pot. Then what happens? You don't get any stability. So stability చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఎప్పుడైనా సరే మనం ఇలా కూర్చున్నాము, ఇలా ఉన్నామంటే we cannot bend like this. Why? Because here our, so when I bend like this here, what happens? That navel becomes front. Navel moves front. Then automatically if you draw a line, it moves inside of the body. If we bend like this, so navel become front. Navel ముందుకు వచ్చేసింది. ముందుకు వచ్చినప్పుడు if we draw a line through it, that line falls inside of our body, inside. But when you bend, your legs are front, and when you bend back, if you draw a line through your navel, that line becomes back, out of the body. Then we won't get, so like this we cannot stand, so we won't get a stability. Like this, if you bend, that line passes through center of gravity inside of the body, inside of this part, then we get stability. So that depends on, stability depends on center of gravity. So this is the gravity completed. Here I have given 5 questions. For first question, this is the hint, and for fifth question also I have given hint, means equations, formulas. So substitute in this. Just answer these questions in comment box. If you have any doubt also, comment in comment box. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe my channel.